When Princess Charlene of Monaco steps out in public, the fashion world stops and takes notice, and her latest appearance has sent style enthusiasts into an absolute frenzy. The former Olympic swimmer turned royal style icon has just confirmed what fashion insiders have been whispering about for months. The retro skirt is officially back and bigger than ever. Before we dive deep into this fashion phenomenon that's sweeping across continents and captivating wardrobes from Paris to New York, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because we're bringing you the most exclusive royal fashion coverage that you won't find anywhere else. Share this video with your fashion-loving friends and drop a comment telling us whether you're ready to embrace this vintage revival or if you're sticking with your current style staples. Princess Charlene has always possessed an uncanny ability to balance her athletic background with sophisticated European elegance, creating a signature style that feels both accessible and aspirational. Her recent choice to wear autumn's most coveted skirt silhouette isn't just another fashion moment, it's a masterclass in understanding how timeless pieces can be reinterpreted for contemporary audiences. The retro skirt she's been spotted wearing represents more than just a seasonal trend, it's a full-circle moment in fashion history where past and present collide in the most beautiful way imaginable. This particular style, characterized by its vintage-inspired cut and nostalgic appeal, has been dominating fashion weeks around the globe, and seeing it on someone with Charlene's impeccable taste confirms that this trend has serious staying power well beyond the current season. What makes this retro skirt phenomenon so fascinating is how it taps into our collective nostalgia while simultaneously feeling completely fresh and modern. Fashion operates in cycles, but rarely do we see a comeback quite this powerful or this universally embraced. The skirt style that Princess Charlene has championed harks back to fashion's golden eras, pulling inspiration from decades when silhouettes were celebrated for their femininity and attention to detail. Whether it's the midi length that evokes memories of elegant afternoons in the 1950s, the A-line cut that dominated the swinging 60s, or the flowing fabrics that defined bohemian 70s style, these retro elements are being reimagined with contemporary fabrics, colors, and styling approaches that make them feel entirely relevant for today's fashion landscape. The Princess of Monaco's approach to wearing this trend demonstrates her sophisticated understanding of personal style. Rather than simply copying what she sees on runways, Charlene adapts trends to suit her lifestyle, her role, and her individual aesthetic preferences. This is precisely what makes her such a compelling fashion figure to watch. She doesn't chase trends blindly, she selects pieces that enhance her natural elegance and complement her public duties. When she wears a retro skirt, she's not making a costume statement or playing dress up with vintage clothes. Instead, she's showing how these classic silhouettes can be integrated seamlessly into a modern wardrobe, paired with contemporary accessories, footwear, and outerwear that bridge the gap between then and now. The broader fashion industry has been building toward this retro resurgence for several seasons now. Designers from heritage fashion houses to emerging independent labels have been mining their archives and drawing inspiration from their greatest hits. The runways of Milan, Paris, London, and New York have showcased variations on vintage skirt silhouettes, each interpreted through a designer's unique lens. Some have emphasized volume and drama, creating full skirts that demand attention and celebrate unapologetic femininity. Others have focused on sleek, streamlined versions that maintain the vintage essence while offering a more understated approach. The beauty of this trend lies in its versatility. There's a retro skirt style for every body type, every personal aesthetic, and every lifestyle need. What's particularly compelling about Princess Charlene's embrace of this trend is the timing. Autumn has always been fashion's most exciting season, when the industry unveils its most considered collections and style enthusiasts refresh their wardrobes with richer fabrics, deeper colors, and more substantial pieces. The retro skirt fits perfectly into autumn's aesthetic narrative. These skirts work beautifully with the layering opportunities that cooler weather provides. Picture a vintage-inspired midi skirt paired with a fitted turtleneck, ankle boots, and a structured blazer, or imagine a flowing retro silhouette styled with a chunky knit sweater and knee-high boots. The styling possibilities are genuinely endless, which explains why this trend has captured imaginations across diverse style communities. Social media has played an enormous role in amplifying the retro skirt trend, with fashion influencers, stylists, and everyday style enthusiasts sharing their interpretations across platforms. When someone with Princess Charlene's profile and influence wears a trend, it creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond royal watching circles. Her choices are analyzed, dissected, and often recreated by fashion lovers around the world who see her as a source of sophisticated inspiration. The democratic nature of this particular trend, available at various price points and through numerous retailers, means that the retro skirt revival isn't confined to luxury fashion circles. High street brands have quickly responded to demand, offering their own versions that capture the essence of the trend while remaining accessible to broader audiences. The psychology behind our attraction to retro fashion runs deeper than simple nostalgia. In times of uncertainty or rapid change, there's comfort in looking backward to periods we perceive as more elegant, more refined, or more stable. Fashion becomes a way to connect with idealized versions of the past while maintaining our footing in the present. The retro skirt trend speaks to a desire for pieces that feel substantial, well-made, and timeless rather than disposable or overly trendy. There's an inherent quality to these vintage-inspired silhouettes that suggests they'll remain in your wardrobe for years rather than being discarded when the next micro-trend emerges. This shift toward more considered fashion choices reflects broader changes in how consumers approach style, prioritizing investment pieces over fast fashion impulses. Princess Charlene's personal style evolution has been remarkable to witness. Since becoming Princess of Monaco, she has developed a fashion identity that honors her role while staying true to her authentic self. She's never tried to be someone she's not, and that authenticity resonates with audiences who are tired of manufactured celebrity personas. Her athletic background gives her an understanding of how clothes need to function and move with the body, which influences her choices in subtle but significant ways. Even when wearing elegant, feminine pieces like retro skirts, there's an ease to how she carries herself that makes the look feel natural rather than forced. This combination of elegance and approachability is what makes her such an effective fashion ambassador, whether she intends to be one or not. The color palettes and fabric choices associated with this autumn's retro skirt trend deserve special attention. Rich jewel tones, earthy neutrals, and classic patterns like plaids, checks, and subtle prints dominate the offerings. Fabrics range from structured wools and tweeds that hold their shape beautifully to flowing silks and satins that move gracefully with every step. The tactile quality of these materials adds another dimension to the trend's appeal, reminding us that fashion engages multiple senses beyond just the visual. When Princess Charlene selects a particular fabric or color, she's making choices that photograph well for public appearances while also considering comfort, appropriateness for the occasion, and how the piece will perform throughout hours of royal duties. Looking at the broader context of royal fashion influence, Princess Charlene joins a distinguished lineage of royal women who have shaped fashion conversations through their choices. From Princess Diana's revolutionary approach to royal dressing to Kate Middleton's ability to cause items to sell out within hours, royal fashion impact is a well-documented phenomenon. However, Charlene brings her own unique perspective to this tradition. Her style feels more European and understated than some of her royal counterparts, which actually increases its accessibility and relatability. She's not competing for attention or trying to create viral fashion moments. Instead, she's simply dressing well for her life, and that authenticity is what makes her choices so influential. The sustainability angle of the retro skirt trend cannot be overlooked in current fashion discussions. As consumers become increasingly conscious of fashion's environmental impact, the appeal of classic, timeless pieces grows stronger. A well-made retro-inspired skirt represents the kind of investment purchase that can be worn season after season, styled differently each time, and potentially even passed down to future generations. This stands in stark contrast to the disposable nature of fast fashion, where trends are consumed and discarded at alarming rates. When influential figures like Princess Charlene champion styles with longevity, they're participating in a larger cultural conversation about how we consume fashion and the values we prioritize in our purchasing decisions. The versatility of retro skirts extends from casual daytime looks to elegant evening ensembles, making them genuinely practical additions to any wardrobe. For daytime, these skirts pair beautifully with simple tops, comfortable footwear, and minimal accessories, creating polished looks suitable for everything from office environments to weekend outings. For evening occasions, the same skirt can be transformed with the addition of statement jewelry, elegant heels, and perhaps a silk blouse or embellished top. This transformative quality represents excellent value in wardrobe planning, as each piece works harder and serves multiple purposes rather than being limited to specific occasions or contexts. As we watch this trend continue to gain momentum throughout the autumn season and likely beyond, the question becomes not whether retro skirts will remain relevant, but rather how they will continue to evolve and adapt to changing fashion landscapes. The fact that Princess Charlene has put her seal of approval on this trend virtually guarantees its continued presence in fashion conversations for the foreseeable future. Her influence, combined with the trend's inherent versatility and appeal, suggests that we'll be seeing various interpretations of the retro skirt across all levels of fashion for seasons to come. The trend has already transcended its initial runway presentations to become a genuine street-style staple, which indicates its organic appeal rather than being a manufactured trend pushed by the fashion industry alone. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Princess Charlene's latest fashion statement and the retro skirt trend that's captured global attention, we're left contemplating the ways fashion connects us to both past and present while pointing toward future style evolution. The Princess of Monaco has once again demonstrated why she remains one of the most watched and influential royal style figures of our time, not through dramatic fashion statements or attention-seeking choices, but through her consistent embrace of elegant, timeless pieces that speak to broader style movements. Her endorsement of the retro skirt trend validates what many fashion enthusiasts already sensed, that this particular revival has genuine substance and staying power beyond fleeting seasonal hype. Now we want to hear from you because your perspective matters in these fashion conversations. Will you be incorporating retro-inspired skirts into your autumn wardrobe, or do you think this vintage revival has gone too far?